First thing we need to talk about is exactly what I mean when I say a linear inequality. And it is simply this. In grade 9, we mean the number line. Okay, that's the line we are talking about when we say linear. Every answer you get in grade 9 will be able to be found on the number line. Okay? And to do this, you need to be able to use two symbols. This symbol, which, since it points to the left, is less than, and it points to the left because as you go left on the number line, you get smaller, and his ugly cousin, greater than. I'm just kidding. They look exactly the same. Greater than, and he points to the right. Now, these are read exactly as they appear. If you see this expression, x, that symbol, 100, what does that mean in English? Some number less than 100. Okay? An unknown number less than 100. Anything like that. Cool? Now, when you were kids, Mrs. Bad Crumble taught you that these were alligators or Pac-Man. I know. It's very confusing. If she had bothered telling you that one means it's bigger and one means it's smaller, it might have been easier for you. But elementary school teachers love their little stories. Okay? Yes. See? Yes. The alligator is hungry, so he eats the bigger one, so his tummy will be fuller. Yeah. I know. Is it no word? I know that. Fuller house. Now, I, of course, remember it as this. 5, negative 7. Which is smaller? Negative 7, so you point to it.
Oh, yes, the arrow.
And then you read that as 5, and since that's pointing to the right, is greater than negative 7. And you know that because if you draw a number line, the dot for 5 is further to the right than negative 7. Okay? Okay. Now, these are the symbols. Less than or equal to. Greater than and greater than or equal to. Now, these are math symbols. There is a lot of different ways to describe these symbols using English words. Okay? So, if it's less than, what math must be involved?
Subtraction.
Right. This is subtraction. And all the words that mean to make smaller. What are some words that mean in English to make smaller? Subtract. Minus. Take away. Reduce. Minimize. There's a million of them. Am I going to make you write them all down? No. But I am going to make you do this. Okay? Everybody ready? A number that's reduced by 6. How would you write that in English or in math? X minus 6. Okay? A number reduced by 6 is 7. Now, what do I do for is 7?
Equals 7.
Equals 7. Do you see any of these symbols here? No. So you can all do this without these symbols, correct? All right, we're going to come back to that in a minute. I need everybody to be aware that they already know what they're doing here. Now, what about less than or equal to? What does that mean?
Subtract.
Nope.
Subtract
Are any of you allowed in the play place at McDonald's?
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
No, you're not allowed. Why?
That's the age limit.
There's an age limit. Yes.
It's an age limit.
And the point is not what it is. The point is you are not allowed in there. Why?
Because you're too big.
You're too big. Or you're too old. Right? So, less than or equal to is what?
Too big. Or too old.
Tool.
It's a maximum. Right?
Maximum.
If you've got to be under 11 to go into the play place, then your age must be less than or equal to what? 10. If you got to be under 11, it's less than or equal to 10.
One of them. What if you're over 11?
Then you can.
Or if you're 11?
Depends on what the sign says.
People that's 14 under.
What?
Did you hear about the mouse and the Wendy's salad?
No, it's an urban legend.
It was in Abbotsford, it was here.
Oh, I have one.
I don't believe
Hear
it.
about what happened in the Philippines?
What?
You hear about what happened in the Philippines?
No.
Something about China. There was 2 islands, and then China claimed it, and then they went to like the U.S. Court,
Yeah.
and then U.S. court claimed that it was a part of the Philippines, but the Chinese people won't leave, and now they're like adding more troops there.
Or
Yeah.
did you hear that the Turkish army took over the government?
No, I heard the Turkish army tried to take over the government.
They took it over.
No, they failed miserably.
Perfect.
That is perfect. It would actually have been very bad. The army should not be in the business of governing.
Did you use the
Maybe
dinners
another
on knee
war
jerk yet?
anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So greater than, obviously we are looking at increases. And then greater than or equal to must be, if less than is a maximum, what's greater than?
Minimum.
A minimum.
Minimum.
Okay? Can a 4-year-old ride the roller coaster at Playland?
No,
Why?
He's too short.
Too short. Doesn't meet the minimum height.
Wait, what happens if you're like really tall? Does it not matter your age?
Of course not.
Oh, perfect.
Because
Then you fit
the rides are, the harnesses and the safety stuff is designed for, based on height.
Imagine a 4-year-old that's 5'4".
But that's why the beast has to have that test seat there for fat people.
I hate that.
That's me.
What's mean?
That's me, like me.
No.
Thank you, Craig.
You're over here.
All right. So all of you should already be able to do this. Is this a situation where you are adding or subtracting, or is it a minimum or a maximum?
Maximum.
This is a maximum. This is a maximum, which means, what is our variable? What is the thing that can change that we don't know? Our speed. Speed is variable, right? Up to what point?
59.
60 kmh. Are you allowed to go 60 in a 60 zone?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's up to 60, agreed? All right. So if the speed is variable, because you can be any speed up to 60, then what do I write here? If I don't know the speed, what do I write? What do I give it in math?
X.
A letter. We always give X. I'm going to use S for speed.
Use K.
So speed must be what?
60.
Can it be anything but 60?
Yeah, anything under 60.
So it must be less than or equal to 60. Yes?
Yeah.
Can I go 49?
Yes.
Can I go 1?
Yeah.
Can I go 61?
No.
No.
Can I go 60.1?
No.
Can I go 60.00000001?
No.
No. Can I go 59.999999? Yes. Got it? Now, here's where it gets tricky. In reality, are there any restrictions on the letter S? Meaning, are there any numbers it cannot be? Like what?
61.
Anything over 60, that's one, we've already covered that. Are there any other real life restrictions on it? You're on the right track.
What do you mean, the laws?
No, I mean in reality. I call your attention to the very first note we wrote today, the number line.
Oh, it can't be a negative.
Can't be a negative. S must also be greater than or equal to what? 0, because can you have a negative speed?
No.
No. So this, you are still not going backwards. That is still not a negative speed. You are still covering distance and time, so you still have a speed. So, this is what we call our inequality. This is what we call a restriction. Because the speed cannot be negative. This is grade 9. This understanding is greater than grade 9. Do you see what I did there?
Yeah,
I know, right? Shut it.
Hey, don't be mean.
That's not mean.
He said shut it.
It's a simple request.
Could have been said in a nicer way.
So,
Please shut it.
everybody good?
yeah.
All right. So now let's look at the second one.
I'll kill you.
You must be at least 16.
Minimum.
That's a minimum.
Minimum.
I caught a seal yesterday.
So if it's a minimum, what symbol are we using? Greater than or equal to. What is the variable?
Anything.
16.
No, 16 is not a variable. 16 is 16.
Anything over 16.
S.
Driver's license? S.
A.
A.
Age is the variable. A. Age is variable because everybody in the world has a different age. Age is variable, so A must be greater than or equal to 16. Now again, that's grade 9 knowledge, yes?
Yes.
How many people in this room qualify to get a driver's license?
None.
In Alberta.
One.
Me.
In Alberta.
Probably we're talking about here.
1. Because only one person has an A. A equals age of greater than 16. Riley,
No, you're allowed to get your driver's license when you're 14 in Alberta.
you're not. You're allowed to get a learner's when you're 14 in Alberta.
And you can only drive on certain.
You can only drive on certain roads and farms. You cannot drive to Calgary from Edmonton when you are 14. No, it isn't. It's perfect.
What's the point of getting a learner's then? You're not learning every single
Well,
road.
do you get your N?
Now.
Or do you still say N?
Is there a restriction on this? Because in math, this says age can be anything greater than 16. Is 264,000 greater than 16?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Is that a realistic age?
No.
No. So there is a restriction, but can we define it?
Yeah.
Bryn says no, Aiden says yes. Bryn, why can we not define it?
People die at different ages.
Everybody dies at different ages. Right?
Well, you gotta live your life to the fullest.
But the longest lived human ever was like 122.
Well, I want to be like that one day.
I wouldn't.
Why?
Why would you ever want
Dead
that?
like this.
Your body is in the pooper by 80. Why would you want to live another 40 years?
What if you're
Guinness
super
World
fit?
Record book.
Yeah, because that's useful. You're going to be dead.
You'll be a vegetable, you have to drink like,
Oh, you
Vegetables.
yeah.
Anyways,
Ew.
the age is variable. So now, is there a restriction? In reality, yes.
Anything under 16.
Right? Age has to be greater than or equal to 16. There's no upper limit because everybody ages and dies at a different time. Everybody cool?
Gucci.
It's easy peasy, yeah?
Lemon squeezy.
Okay, so you guys do the next two by yourself. Go. T equals temperatures.
Craggy, you play Pokemon.
Probably.
That was the Pokemon.
Embarrassing.
You can't get picky.
So, T is a variable. Why?
Temperature.
Because it means an unknown temperature, right? Okay. So it's a variable, and in this case, it represents an unknown. I feel I should add that. An unknown temperature. So, for temperatures less than 0, make sure you wear warm clothing. What symbol goes in there? Less than. Do I need an equal sign? No, because apparently you only need warm clothing when it's less than 0. 0, you can wear a t-shirt and shorts. What about this one?
Less than
Less than or
equal to.
equal to 12. But how can it be less than 12? Dylan, the question clearly says the highest temperature we've had this week. So why wouldn't it be greater than?
Because 12 is the highest.
12 is the highest. All the unknown temperatures had to be lower than 12. Got it?
Got it.
Good. Now, the next question is this. I don't know why this causes people difficulty. What was the first thing I said in this lesson? Number line. You all know how a number line works, right? So, right below all these guys, draw me a number line. In the middle will be what number?
0.
0. Right? Where is the number 3?
On the right.
To the right.
To the right. I'm going to put it out here. Cool? Now, read this to me in English.
X is
A
No.
number is less than,
A number
is less than or equal to.
less than or equal to 3. Right? Where on the number line do the numbers less than or equal to 3 live?
on the somewhat on the right and then on the left.
They all exist left of what?
Oh, 3. I think
Right. On a number line, these are all numbers left of 3. Do I include 3?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's less than or equal.
Because it's less than or equal to 3. So how do I show that on a number line? First, I got to decide what works. Is 5 less than or equal to 3?
No.
No. Is 3?
Yeah.
Is 0?
Yep.
Is negative 2? Yes. Now, how do I show it on a number line? The number line shows every single number in the universe, yes? From negative infinity to positive infinity. Do I care about every single number?
No.
No. What are the only numbers I care about, Riley?
3, 0, negative 2.
No.
Anything under.
Any number left of 3. Does that include decimals?
Yep.
Does that include fractions?
Yep.
Does that include negatives? Yep. So, I need every number left of 3. Do I include 3?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do I show that I include 3? I circle it and I color it in. Include that point. Because there's an equal sign. So 3 is allowed. If I didn't have that colored, would 3 count? No. Would 2.99999 count? Yes.
Yeah.
Gouda?
Great.
Do the next one. Is 8 a solution to that inequality? So the first thing I got to do is I got to go to 0. Because that's where I got to start. Then I check on my number line. I got to go, great, my number must be greater than 0. So where does that live on the number line, left or right?
Right. No left. Well, there's the outright right.
Right. So I am going this way. And the number I care about is 8. There is 8. Does the line go through? Yes. So since 8 is to the right of 0, 8 is a solution. Now, here is something that for some reason you guys don't understand. What are 3 other numbers that work here? 6,
4,
10, 2.
1,
How many numbers are there?
infinite.
Infinite. Can they be decimals?
Yep.
Can they be fractions?
Yep.
Can they be irrational numbers?
Yeah.
Excellent. Gouda?
Great.
Good. Yes. Everything that red line covers counts. Does 0 count?
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
No. I knew it. I was tricking you.
Because there's no equal sign. And 0 is not greater than 0. 0 is 0.
Yep.
Got it? So now I'm going to remind you. Draw the number line. Draw 0. A is greater than 0. Is 0 included? No. Circle and line. This means only up to that point. Now draw another one, 0. Now I need less than 0. But it's equal, so what do? Color it in. And this means you include that point. Now, I want you guys to tell me, what do you see that is similar between these two expressions?
0.
They both have the same limit, don't they?
Yeah.
Excellent. What else is similar? I would argue that that is the same.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking similar. What else do you see that is similar?
They both go. It's the same. This one goes in like. They both include that point.
Okay, zeros in both of them. Yeah, you said that already.
Yeah.
What else is similar?
They both start at 0.
Oh my
Okay, you've
God.
said that 3 times now, Panini. Okay?
You're slow.
Try not saying that again.
Okay.
What else is similar?
They don't go up to a certain point.
They go up to the infinite.
They don't know infinite.
They both don't.
They both have the variable.
They both have a variable.
Damn, son.
So they're.
What else about that? No, those variables aren't the same. One is A and one is Z. They are not the same. What about the variables is similar?
They both have one variable.
They both have one variable. Keep rolling.
They're both left
greater
the number line. They're both left.
They're both left of what?
Zero.
One goes negative, the other goes.
Letter, symbol, number. Letter, symbol, number. The letter is first in both of them, isn't it? Right? So you guys, after a little bit of prodding, noticed that for both of these, the letter is first. Now look at the graph. A is greater than 0. And the graph pointed right. Z is less than 0, and the graph pointed left. Everybody got it? Now watch this. 0A. What symbol goes there to make the same graph? Why?
Because you just flip the.
No, don't tell me what you do. Tell me why. What does this say in English?
Subtract.
No. Read this to me in English. 0
Less than.
is less
Than a number.
than some number. Right? So graph it. All those numbers have to be greater than 0. So you get the same graph. Notice now I'm going to tell you the shortcut, now that I've explained why it works. If the letter is first, your graph follows the symbol. If the number is first, your graph reverses the symbol. Does everybody see why? This means some number greater than 0. This means 0 is less than all the numbers you're allowed to have. Do you understand? Okay, so what would I do down here to make the same graph with 0 and Z? Greater than or equal to Z. Because that says 0 is greater than.
Wow.
Everybody good? Okay. So let's do some graphing. Graph each of these. So I'm going to need to see 4 number lines. I'm going to do a black number line, a red number line, blue number line, and a green number line. And I want 3 possible answers for each one. So there's my black number line. What's the only number that matters? 5. Is the letter first?
No. Oh, yes, sir.
So does the line follow the letter, the symbol? Yes. So I got to go to the right. Is 5 included?
No.
No. So what kind of dot do I put there? A not shaded. We call it an open dot. Open dot because 5 is not a solution. Now, what are 3 numbers that are? 6, 8, 10, 37, 322, 87.1.
497.
Good. Red line. What's the only number that matters?
-1.
-1. Is it included? Why? Because it's got the equal sign. So I do a closed dot. Because, and I'm lazy, BC, -1 is a solution. Is the letter first? So do we follow the symbol? So which way do I go? Left. Now give me 3 numbers.
-64.
-64. -4,000. -7. Got it? What's the only number that matters? -4. Is it included? How do you know? Because there's an equal sign. Which way does the arrow go?
No, right. Left, because the number is very left.
Left, because the number is first. Does not follow symbol. Because you need because -4 is a maximum. Right? You need some number. -4 is greater than all the numbers you're allowed to have. And finally, in green, what's the only number that matters? -1. Is it included? No. Which way does the arrow go?
Right.
Right. Why?
Because the number is first, so it first is.
Because the number is first.
How come that's the other side?
It does not, one sec, Aiden, follow the symbol because -1 is a minimum. It's a min. Because -1 has to be less than all the numbers you're allowed. If you are in doubt and you cannot remember, letter first, follow the sign, number first, reverse the sign. If you can't remember that, which is not what you should remember, is it? You should be remembering what I'm about to say. Read these out to yourself. -1 is less than some number. Okay? R's are the numbers we're allowed to have. -1 is less than all of them. So R's must be greater than -1. Cool?
Awesome. Ball.
Graph, see if you can do it right. Go. I'm not going to talk. I want to see a line, a dot, whether it's colored or not, and 3 answers. Okay. Now you will notice this number line that I gave you is much more detailed than it needs to be, doesn't it? What is the only number that matters? 4. So I circle it. Do I color it?
Yes.
No. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You do. Why? And no one is allowed to say because of the symbol.
Because it's included, so you know what's, yeah.
Because it's included, because 4 is a solution. Good job, Paneet. That's not something I say very often.
Never say it again. Get out of my class, please.
That's the concussion has worked the reverse for you. What'd you do?
I ran into
Fell off a cliff chasing Pokemon.
No, I walked into I ran into a pool that felt
Is he
Chasing Pokemon?
no chasing my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah,
And which way does the arrow go? Hint again, you left. Okay. Now, why? And you're not allowed to say anything about the symbol or the letters.
Because it's less than.
Pointing to.
I read it out to myself.
You read it out to yourself. And what does that say when you read it out to yourself, Perry?
H is less than or equal to
H is less than 4 or equal to 4. What is H?
Okay.
Anything other.
Any number. So I need a graph of any number less than 4. How far will that arrow go in math class?
Forever.
To negative infinity. In reality, will it go to negative infinity?
no.
If we were ever doing a real world math problem, there would be a lower limit, wouldn't there? Okay. Now, what are any 3 numbers that work here?
Negative 28.
Negative 28.
49.
2.
2.49.
49.
2.4781. 3.
Negative 49.
2.47821.
Yes. 2.47821.
Negative
Good one.
94,000.
Negative, good. We all get it. Now, graph this guy. What's the only number that matters?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Have these been labeled? So who's the boss of this number line? You are. Can you put the negative 3 anywhere you want? Yeah. I'm going to be a badass. I'm going to put it over here. I know, right? How come I'm not at Pemberton? I'm such a badass.
Can you put any random?
I should be up there on stage with a projector and a microphone doing math.
You know you did some terrible.
Negative 3. Yo. Now,
Wait, can you put any random?
I've never gone to a rave.
finish this.
Have you ever shut up?
Do I color it?
No.
Why?
It's not equal.
Which way does the arrow go? Right.
What's wrong with being white?
Why?
You don't fight.
I like
Yeah, they do have you know.
does not follow symbol because negative 3 is a minimum.
Good. Now what are 3 answers that work there?
Negative 39.
No.
Negative 2.
Negative 2.
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Negative 1.87.
87.
How though? Like because it's great. It's great.
Read it out to yourself, Aiden. Is greater than, is less than X. Which means the numbers you are allowed have to be greater than negative 3.
Oh,
Greater than on a number line is to the right.
I see.
So now, this is where all you guys say, when am I ever going to need a number line? Bah.
Counting.
Okay. It is 10:13. Class goes until 10:35. That is 20 minutes of work time. This is extremely easy. There is a reason that I have ended here with an easy lesson and 20 minutes before the break. Because after the break it is third block. Third block is test time. This, super easy. You have a test coming up.
On this?
No, on polynomials. So you need to spend this work time working on these 2 pages, of which I'm going to edit right now. You may study it as your choice. 292.
On the last page, we have a movie day.
The last day we have any.
Oh, like the second last page.
Why do we have a movie day?
I'd rather it
Because we need to study
Summer
Carrie.
school.
You are going to do all of 1 to 10.
Okay. You do the hockey bug.
Oh, yeah, that's
Actually, you're going to do everything up to 13. We've already done 15 in our notes. And on 286, you're not going to do anything. Actually, I'm the worst kind of liar.
Alright, you're the worst kind
What's
of.
the worst kind of
You
life?
just got you excited, and now it's gonna be like you have to do all of it.
No, you're going to do 5 and 7.
The
That's
worst
it.
kind of life.
So right now you are either working on those yellow highlighted questions or you are studying for your polynomial test, which is happening at 10:50.
Oh, 50 cents.
Please go get a drink of water.
Yes.
Is this our 15-minute break coming up?
Yes.
Are you gonna come?
The break.
What will you